Ever stumbled upon a website and wondered, who really owns this? Who registered it? What did it look like 5 years ago? And what other websites are they hiding? Most people think this information is private. They're wrong. Today, I'm going to show you how to pull back the curtain using one of the most fundamental tools in open source intelligence, the WHOIS record. In this single video, I'm not just going to show you a simple search. You are going to learn how to find the owner's name and their contact details, discover a website's entire registration history, seeing who owned it in the past, uncover every other domain registered by the same person or email address using a technique called reverse WHOIS, and map out an organization's entire digital infrastructure. This is the exact workflow used by cybersecurity professionals, digital investigators, and ethical hackers. We're going to start with a fundamental technique, WHOIS lookups. So what exactly is a WHOIS record? In simple terms, it's a public database entry that reveals who owns a particular domain name. When someone registers a website, they are required to provide certain information, which then populates this record. Typically, each WHOIS record contains the domain owner's name and their contact details, crucial for direct identification. The registration and expiration dates of the domain giving us a timeline, and information about the domain registrar, the company through which the domain was purchased. It's important to understand that WHOIS databases are maintained by specific organizations called Regional Internet Registries, or RIRs. These RIRs manage IP addresses and domain name registrations globally, and they are the authoritative source for this data. A typical WHOIS query can return a wealth of key data points, including we get contact details of the owners, which could be their name, address, phone number, and email. We see the domain name servers and net range, giving us clues about the hosting infrastructure, and vital creation, expiry, and last updated records, providing a timeline of the domain's activity. For an OSINT investigator, this information is invaluable. It helps us gather direct personal information, create a map of a target organization's network, and even obtain internal details about their infrastructure or previous configurations. Let's jump into our first demo with a straightforward and widely used tool, who.is. This is often my first stop for a quick WHOIS lookup. I'm here on who.is. I'm going to search for megacorp1.com to get a quick overview of its registration details. As you can see, it immediately provides us with the details about the registrar, critical dates like creation and expiration, and the name servers. This gives us a solid baseline of information to start with. It's clean, simple, and fast. You can also click on Raw Data tab to see if any other information is available about the domain. In this case, we do not have anything else. For a more feature-rich, web-based WHOIS experience, I often turn to whois.com. While it provides the same core data, its interface can sometimes present it more clearly or offer additional navigation options. Let's search for megacorp1.com again, but this time on whois.com. Here, you can see similar details, but often presented with clear headings like domain information, registered on, expires on. It reiterates the domain status and lists the name servers. The layout can sometimes make it easier to quickly scan for key details, especially if you're dealing with a large volume of lookups. Importantly, it also provides registrant information, including the company name, physical location, and multiple email addresses. These details can be valuable for further investigation and help us build a clearer picture of the entity behind the website. When you need a more advanced or comprehensive WHOIS lookup, especially for professional investigations, domaintools.com is a go-to resource. While some of its deeper features are behind a paywall, their free WHOIS lookup still provides excellent data and cross-referencing capabilities. Let's try megacorp1.com on Domain Tools. Notice the level of detail here. Beyond the standard information, Domain Tools provides insights like the domain's age in days, its creation and expiration dates, and a more detailed breakdown of its name servers and their associated domains. It also clearly identifies the IP address and its geographical location, linking the digital asset to a physical presence. We also have complete information about the registrant, like name, state, address, and the email address. Domain Tools is particularly useful when you need to pivot into other related OSINT tasks, like reverse IP lookups. For those of you who prefer command line tools or are working within a Linux environment like Kali Linux, a native WHOIS command is often available. This can be faster for quick lookups and integrates well into scripting. Here, I have a Kali Linux terminal open. I can simply type whoiscertifiedhacker.com. As you can see, the output is raw text, but it contains all the same core information we saw on the web-based tools: domain name, registrar, contact emails, registration dates, and name servers. Understanding how to use command line tools is a valuable skill in OSINT for automation and efficiency. Finally, for Windows users, or if you prefer a dedicated desktop application, tools like SmartWhoIs offer a graphical interface for performing WHOIS lookups. These can be useful for managing multiple queries or integrating with other local tools. You can download the application directly from Tamosoft's official website. Once downloaded, extract the files and proceed with the installation. Here's SmartWhoIs on my Windows machine. I'll enter certifiedhacker.com. The tool retrieves and displays the WHOIS information in a structured format, similar to the web interfaces. It gives us the owner's contact details, registration dates, and DNS information, all within a familiar desktop application environment. The choice of tool often comes down to personal preference and workflow. So far, we've explored the current WHOIS record, but what happens if the domain owner updates their information, or even sells the domain? Moreover, we've seen most modern WHOIS entries are now redacted, making it increasingly difficult to access registrant details. This is where Historical WHOIS becomes invaluable. It allows us to access older records, uncover previous ownership details, and track how a domain has changed hands over time. Our first tool for Historical WHOIS is whoisfreaks.com. This site provides a historical database of WHOIS records, allowing you to see past owners and contact information that might no longer be in the current record. I'm on WHOISfreaks, and I'll search for packwheels.com. As you can see, it retrieves historical records for the domain. Multiple WHOIS entries are displayed, sorted by date and year. These include creation and expiry dates, as well as past registrant details, such as names, company names, countries, old email addresses, and phone numbers. While most recent WHOIS records are redacted, if we scroll down to earlier entries, we can often find unredacted registrant information. In this case, we see the registrant is Pocky Ventures, along with their email address and phone number. Similarly, if we search the historical records for Udemy, many entries are redacted. However, one record reveals the original registrant, Aaron Bali, the founding CEO. His email and phone number are also visible. This kind of historical data is incredibly valuable when a target has attempted to obscure their current information or when you're tracking the evolution of a domain over time. Or truly in-depth historical WHOIS analysis, Domain Tools' research platform is unparalleled. While it's often a paid service for full access, It provides deep insights into the evolution of domain ownership. On Domain Tools, WHOIS History for packwheels.com, notice the summary. We have 947 historical records for packwheels.com and 179 significant changes. It also highlights that about 84% of the records publish domain name ownership data, meaning a significant portion isn't hidden by privacy services. This gives you a clear indication of how much historical data is available and how active the domain's ownership has been, guiding your further investigation. Although in free tier, we cannot get the complete data, but we can get an overview of the WHOIS history of a domain. For those who need to perform historical WHOIS lookups at scale or integrate them into automated workflows, API-driven services like WHOISXMLAPI.com are indispensable. On their WHOIS history page, you can see how their API can retrieve vast amounts of historical data. While the demo limits us to just a few records, their archive boasts over 23 billion WHOIS records. This is the kind of service that allows you to automate the collection of historical ownership data for large-scale investigations, processing thousands of domains at once. Another excellent tool for historical WHOIS data is Woxy.com. Woxy is known for its extensive archives and often presents the data in a clear chronological order, making it easy to track changes. Let's search for packwheels.com on Woxy. Here we get a timeline of WHOIS records. You can see how the name, company, email, and status of the domain have changed across different dates, like 4 January 2017 and 12 October 2017. This provides a dynamic view of the domain's ownership history, which can be crucial for uncovering long-term patterns or identifying previous owners. Now, let's flip the script. Instead of finding out who owns a domain, what if you have an owner's name or email, and you want to find all the domains they own? This is where reverse WHOIS comes in. It's a powerful technique for finding websites owned or managed by the same entity, greatly expanding your target's digital footprint. Let's start our reverse WHOIS demos with WHOISfreaks.com again. This site allows you to search their WHOIS database using an email address, which is a common pivot point in OSINT. I'm here on their reverse WHOIS search page. I'll enter a known email address associated with the packwheels.com domain we looked at earlier, admin@packeventures.com. Immediately, we get a list of domains associated with that email address. We see packwheel.com, tringtring.com, and luckystarmotors.com. This is incredibly useful for mapping out an individual's or organization's broader web presence, finding sister sites, or discovering new ventures linked to your target. Another reliable tool for reverse WHOIS is viewdns.info. This site offers a wide range of DNS-related tools, including a robust reverse WHOIS search. Let's use the same email on viewdns.info. Here, we get a clean list of all domains registered with that email address. It confirms some of our previous findings and potentially reveals even more domains. Tools like viewdns.info are crucial for building a comprehensive network map of your target's digital assets. ReverseWHOIS.io is yet another specialized platform that focuses purely on reverse WHOIS lookups. It's often updated with fresh data and can catch domains that other tools might miss. Again, let's search for admin@packeventures.com on ReverseWHOIS.io. The results are displayed clearly, showing the domain name, creation date, and registrar. The more tools you use for reverse WHOIS, the more complete your picture will become. Each service pulls from slightly different datasets and update cadences, so combining them maximizes your coverage. Our final section in this lecture focuses on expanding your reconnaissance beyond known domains, finding similar sites. This technique helps you uncover websites that might be related to your target based on keywords, topics, or even similar domain structures, even if they're not directly linked through WHOIS records. Our first tool for finding similar sites is instantdomainsearch.com. While primarily a domain registration tool, its search capabilities are excellent for quickly identifying available or registered domains containing specific keywords. Let's search for the keyword pack wheels. You can see it instantly generates a huge list of domains that contain pack wheels, along with various top-level domains like .club, .link, .blog, and even premium domains. This is fantastic for identifying potential brand abuses, related ventures, or simply mapping out the ecosystem around a particular keyword or brand name. This can be important because WHOIS records for the main domain might be hidden, but related domains owned by the same organization are sometimes left exposed. These supporting domains often aren't protected the same way. We can simply click the WHOIS option to view the record for each domain. By checking them one by one, we might uncover additional information that isn't available in the primary domain's record. DNS Checker offers a domain name checker tool that helps you see the availability of a domain across different top-level domains and provides some WHOIS info. This is useful for understanding a brand's full domain footprint. Let's search for udemy.net here. It shows the availability of Udemy across various TLDs like .com, .net, .org, and .io. It quickly tells you which ones are taken and which are available. This is crucial for understanding how a brand protects its digital identity and what other domains it might own, even if they're not actively used. One excellent feature of this site is that you can click on any domain and its WHOIS record will be displayed in the main panel. This makes it much easier to trace an organization or individual associated with the domain. For a more in-depth look at domain information and finding neighbors based on shared attributes, DNSlytics.com is a powerful resource. It goes beyond simple keyword matching to find more technically related domains. Let's search for pack wheels here. It shows various domains containing pack wheels and even gives insights into their domain rank, IP addresses, and DNS servers. This can reveal clusters of sites hosted on the same infrastructure or belonging to the same network, even if direct ownership isn't immediately apparent through WHOIS. So, to summarize our journey through website OSINT, remember this workflow. First, start with a standard WHOIS lookup to identify current ownership, key dates, and registrar information. Next, dig into history using historical WHOIS tools to uncover past owners and track changes over time. Then, expand horizontally by using reverse WHOIS. This allows you to find other domains owned by the same individual or organization, often through an email address. And finally, broaden your scope by searching for similar sites using keywords to discover related domains or potential brand affiliations. As always in OSINT, verify everything by cross-referencing information found across multiple tools and sources. This comprehensive approach to website OSINT will equip you with powerful techniques to uncover deep intelligence from any online presence. Thank you for joining me in this lecture, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.